In this video, I will be introducing you to scenarios and how they're used inside of the drainage and utilities workflow. Scenario is going to be a grouping of a combination of alternatives in addition to a selected calculation option. So while describing what a scenario is and how it's used, I'll also introduce you to what alternatives are as well as calculation options. Here inside the DGNlib, in addition to having the drainage and utilities properties up on the right side, I'm going to go over to the Analysis tab and also open up the Scenario Manager, the Alternatives dialog, and the Options, which is going to be the calculation options. Before I start talking about scenarios, I want to first start on more of a basic level and describe what a property is. So I'll take a look at this basic file where I've placed an inlet, a 24-inch concrete pipe heading out to a head wall, and then I also have a catchment here. But take a look at the properties for one of these individual elements. They're going to change slightly depending on the type of element I'm looking at. So starting on the base level, a property is going to be any stored characteristic of a model element. So this could be something numerical or just with text, like a size or a material, maybe a section type. This could also be more of a toggle, where is culvert set to true or false, or maybe we're saying whether or not we want to design the conduit. Properties are also defined in dialogues such as the calculation options. Each one of these listed on the left column is going to be an individual property of a calculation option. Going back to the element properties, these different types of properties that we have are going to be grouped into different categories. So I have some general properties here, just giving me, start and stop node for a pipe. The geometry is going to give me a collection of items that is going to specify the spatial information. We're always going to have an active topology category for all the different elements. You'll also see a design category grouping all of the different design properties. Here I see one for flows. And as I scroll down, you'll see the different properties that we have. And then clicking on the different elements, you'll see how there's a lot of overlap between the properties of different types of elements and how they're categorized. We'll see the same relationship with the alternatives. So an alternative is going to be a logically organized set of properties. So it's going to be very similar to what we see how the grouping is for our element properties. And you can create multiple alternatives for each type of alternative. That can be hand chosen, one of each, to be loaded into different scenarios. So you're going to have one of each of these different types of alternatives loaded into one scenario where you'll also be specifying one calculation option.